Welcome to Your Inspired Journey. I'm Carla Andrews, and I have the wonderful pleasure of being here with Francesca Woltanski. I have the pleasure of being here with Francesca Woltanski. She is an amazing coach who helps she's an amazing coach who helps high achieving women really find space and create opportunities for productivity, for self-care, and of course of how to love on themselves. Welcome, Francesca. How are you?
I am so good, and I feel so honored to be here. Thank you for having me as a guest, Carla.
It's a pleasure. I just can't wait to hear how you're just helping amazing, achieving, awesome, phenomenal women, which is every single one of us, right? Of really how to capture more time to be more productive, to be able to see how we can just be in the space of creativity. But of course, you have to have the time to be creative, right? So just can't
Absolutely.
wait to hear a little bit about, first of all, who you are and of course, how did you get to this space of, helping other women?
Yeah, so I am a life coach. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan with my husband, Daniel. And my story really started after college. I got really, really sick.
Mm,
And I ended up going through this really hard time. And so I found my way to life coaching through healing physically and emotionally and spiritually. And I just love helping high achieving women. I think they are oftentimes in this place in their life where sometimes they're burning out, or maybe they haven't yet, but they have those tendencies that may take them to burnout. So I love helping them work through all that to, be kind of preventative and see how can we help them to thrive at any time of their life.
so share with me, like when you're saying high achieving women, why did you choose that group of women to help serve them?
Yeah. Well, I think, a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we tend to gravitate towards our own story, right? So part of it is because part of it's me, and looking back at the ways that I struggled with things like perfectionism. And I'm not going to say that I'm perfect at it, like it's not like I'm like, oh, I've totally got into a place where I don't have those struggles at all. However, there is a way that I've gotten freedom from that, from feeling like I had to do all of the things and I had to do them perfect. What I love about high achieving women is that they love bringing mastery and excellence into the world. And so that's one of the things that really attracts me to them. Um, yeah, they just love bringing excellence into the world. And they really have a big heart for having impact. And yet they also want more time with their families and more time with themselves, and that balance of being able to bring something amazing into the world but still be in a place where they're thriving.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. And it is so true because, yes, a woman of impact, of influence, she's looking to be that person. She wants to be the mom, right? She wants to be the wife. She wants to be a community person. But there's so many other creativity that she wants to explore. And in the high achieving meaning, sometimes we put ourselves in position of burnout because of that, because we're trying to achieve 50 things on our to-do list instead of five. We're always told, oh, just choose three things to work. But then a lot of times when you're speaking to a high achieving person, they have like five, six, seven different projects going on at the same time, don't they?
Oh, 100%. And especially if they're an entrepreneur, they, just get excited about new ventures and new ideas.
And of course they have to try every single idea.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes to the space of when you're working with a person and you're finding out that, okay, their plate is full. Now, it may look full to you, of course, to that entrepreneur, to that person. They may say, well, this is what I'm used to. Like, how do you help them get from a potential of getting burned out to, why don't we try this process or this way? Or how do you help them to move from being plate that's full to a plate that's enough?
Yeah, well, typically my clients, the women who come to me, they're desiring more flow and more ease in their life. So we always start there. Like, what is it that you really, really want? And we get a super clear picture of that. And then we say, okay, where are you now? And we dig really deep into the mindset. So what I love about my business is I'm able to bring in, the more practical side of things like scheduling or having a really good relationship with your tech. But at the center of all of it is mindset. And we start seeing patterns that come up, but we start with, what do you want? Where do you want to be? And that kind of like guides the journey. And we're always coming back to that question. What do you want? Where do you want to be? And how do we get you there?
And and now it sounds easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's very simple. It is very simple. It is in our world where there's so many messages coming at us and there's
Mhm.
notifications and all kinds of information. We live in the blessing of the information age, right? Like there was a time where you could not get the information that we have. And yet the hard part about that is it makes our world really noisy. It can
Yes,
be
it does.
very overwhelming and making decisions really challenging.
Yeah. So so as a coach, you're helping her really just kind of sort things out. But that isn't it's asking that question, but the process of helping, guiding, and really supporting as a person figuring all of this out. It's a lot to figure out. And so this gives them the clarity that they need so that they can be productive and really have that flow in their life.
Absolutely. I think my favorite thing about being a coach and what I do is like seeing the essence of my clients and seeing how can we pull that out of them more, because there are things in their schedule, their email inbox, the way they're relating in their life that's like covering it up and it's keeping them from thriving. And so any way that we can like declutter that and strip away the things that are not who they were created to be, I think that just gives them a new freedom and ability again
Mm.
to come from this place of flow and ease and simplicity and loving their life.
And what's beautiful about what you're doing is a lot of times if you have so many things on your plate and you're still doing it with excellence, can you imagine the masterpiece that comes out when you're able to hone all that energy into a few projects, right? Instead of having five different projects, but focusing on one or two and really seeing that coming through, that's really going to make a big difference of the outcomes and the results.
Yeah, and I find too with my women, they tend to start feeling more satisfied because
Hmm.
sometimes one of the symptoms is like they're bouncing around from thing to thing. They have like a million tabs open on their, Chrome extension. They have a million email inboxes. They have a million activities they're doing. And so the impact can be so much greater when we channel that into like one, two or three focus points instead of when they're doing all these different things, it's really hard for them to actually complete things or be consistent. And so they're not always feeling the impact and they're not feeling satisfied. But when we work together, they get to that point of like, I'm feeling satisfied and really pleased with what I am bringing out into the world.
That's beautiful. So it's amazing how when it comes to working with women, a lot of times we may feel that we have to do not only the of course our duties as a mom, as a parent, as of course as a wife, or even being part of the community or something of a greater cause. But what happened is, like you said, is if we're not careful, we're all over the place. We're trying to get that consistency. So it's important. Someone like you're really holding us accountable, correct? Well, you're really holding that person accountable to say, why don't we just focus in this area? And a lot of times it sounds easy, just as we're talking about this, right? It sounds so easy. Well, let's just focus on this quarter. But really, by you being in the forest, we can get lost, can't we? We can actually, sometimes we need someone from the outside to say, okay, this is heading left real quick. And I tell people all the time, I mean, I guess, when you're looking at a situation like Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson, this is sports. I don't know if everyone's loves sports here, but I do. You could have this master. So just in general, you can have this master, let's say legend player, but having that coach on the bench really helps to guide them, right? To guide the game of life, to guide the process of the outcome that they're seeking. Would you agree with that?
100%. It's like the coach is the one that's invisible to everybody
Yeah.
else. Like
Yeah.
people don't care as much about the coach, but the coach is the one who like brings the greatness out of that person, out of Michael Jordan, right? So that he can shine to be the amazing basketball player that he is, right? Yeah. That's what I love most about my job.
Yeah. And it's amazing how I've done a study, and it seems that every person of greatness had a coach or a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
If we could think of anyone that you believe that is in the space of greatness or where we've witnessed greatness, somewhere along the line, there was a coach, there was a mentor, some type of advisor that wasn't on the back end scene helping the person, reach their highest potential. So it's amazing that I think coaching is really an honorable job to be able to help someone's, dreams and be able to help it to become a reality.
Yeah, it's an amazing, amazing honor, an amazing blessing. And I love empowering my clients because, they often want me to keep them accountable, but I kind of I help them to keep themselves accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to have me there forever. And we
Exactly,
are
like the
in systems
codependency.
today where it's we're used to people telling us what to do. So when we have the freedom to make decisions with our schedule or with other things, it can get really overwhelming because we're used to people telling us what to do. And so I love to help them to be empowered to do it for themselves.
I love it. I like to say coaches are like the safety guardrails, like in a bowling alley. Those things that come up. You're free to go to your goal. But our job is to help you not get into the gutter. Just come out, yes, head back to the left. But yeah, it's an amazing journey when you have, definitely clients who are looking to achieve and actually seeing them, getting to those outcomes, sometimes even faster, right, than they thought. They might have a 18-month plan and then end up with 9 months. But it's always an amazing venture to see someone actually taking that action and saying, well, you know what, I need help, I need some support, I need some guidance, and then be able to take that action on their dreams.